I hail from Benue State in Nigeria.
Oh, food basket of the nation.
Yeah, food basket of the nation, but I am from the Idoma speaking parts of Benue. You know, we have Tea, Vidoma, Igede. I think there's another one again, but I can't even remember, but I'm from Benue. I'm from the Idoma speaking part. Well, I've been in the industry professionally for about 10, 11 years professionally. And yes, Amina has been my most challenging role. Yeah, because it took so much from me as an individual, and I had to get into that character, and then I had to go on horses, and I had to do the sword fighting and all of that. So yes, it took so much to be able to achieve that, because I was trained for like 1 month, like straight every day. You go to when you wake up in the morning, you go to the polo field from 8 a.m. and then you come back at 12, and then you rest for like 2 hours, and then by 3 you go to where we do the sword fighting rehearsals and stuff, and then afterwards you do script rehearsals. So yeah, for 1 full month before the shoot. So
wow,
it was very challenging. For a whole month, that was what we're doing, like training. But on days when I don't have scenes to shoot, I still meet up with my coach, and then we still continue the training, just so that I don't miss it in any way. Yeah, so it took like a whole month. No. So let me tell you this funny story. So Lucy Ameh is somebody that is very, very scared of horses. Like before Amina, if I see a horse coming this way and I'm coming the same way, I'm going that way, like I'll just run away. Like practically, I'm so scared of horses, because you know the stories about horses where you hear that once they kick you, you are dead. You know, so I don't even want to have anything to do with them. So going on a back horse for Amina, the first day I had to go, okay, you know how you go for auditions and they ask you, would you be able to ride a horse? Do you think it's something you'll be able to do? Just because you want to get the role, there are some questions they will ask you and you'll be like, yes, I can do it. Or, oh no, yes, that's me. You know, just because you just want to get the role, and you know that once you get the role, whatever happens after then, you guys would work it out. Actors do that a lot, I'm sure they can relate. So you know that at auditions, they will ask you, oh, so we're going to do a lot of horse riding, sword fighting. Is it something you can do? I'm like, oh, of course. But in my mind, somewhere like, oh my God, horse, no, how? And then first day that I had to go on the back of the horse, when we went to the polo field in Jos for the training, I was looking at the horse from afar. So we were there with our director, and then he was giving us directions and stuff, and we were talking before the horse handlers had us go on the horse. Before I climbed the horse, it was so scary. He's like, but I thought you said, I'm like, yes, I can do it. Don't worry, I can do it. I was so scared. But of course, on the first day, they had the handlers go on the horses with us, and then they were showing us how to walk with the horse, you know, and all of that. And then, funny enough, that same day, at the end of the training, I felt this like heavy weight off me, like, so this is what it is to be on a horse. It's not a big deal now, you know. And before you know, it was just a fun ride for me all through. Filming lasts for like 3 months. So it was 1 month of training and then 3 months of filming. Well, I saw all those comments and all those, you know, all the things that they were talking about. First of all, yes, Amina is a northern historical story, yes. I mean, we're Nigerians, right? So it's like there's always this thing that they keep shouting and talking about every time, one Nigeria. So it doesn't matter if it's the non-Hausa crew that shot the film. Wherever they are from, the crew members or the actors that decided to do the film, the story was there for anybody to explore, any filmmaker from any part of the world, really. And then this group of people decided, okay, this is what we want to do. And then they decided to do it. It doesn't matter if they are Hausa or not. For me, I just feel we are filmmakers. First, we are first filmmakers, and then secondly, we are Nigerians. So it doesn't matter. If today we decide that, oh, we want to shoot like maybe a film about Nefertiti of Egypt, is there going to be a criticism that we're not from Egypt, so why did we shoot the film? For me, I just feel like we're filmmakers, and we can explore and we can do whatever we want to do with whatever story. Yeah. But the criticism I heard a lot was that I don't know if you're going to ask me that question, but that the film is the Northern story. We should have said our lines in Hausa.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, it's a Northern story, yes, but it's not a Hausa film. I guess the producers and the director, they just felt that it's not a Hausa film. We want this film to reach out to a lot of people. Because truth is, Nigerians, we are very funny people. If this film was shot in Hausa, a lot of people will come and say, oh, why did they shoot it in Hausa? We don't even understand Hausa. It is stressful for me to read subtitles. Oh, why did they do it in English? Now, we did it in English. People are saying, oh, they should have done it in Hausa. It would have gone for the Oscars, blah, blah, blah. But truth is, I don't think filmmakers make film purposely to just go for awards and all. I don't think so. And I don't think the director or the producers were making the film specifically for the Oscars. They just wanted to make a good film, and then they made a good film, and we spoke English, and it's showing around the world, guys. And it's being dubbed in different languages. So wherever you are, if it's Hausa you want, don't worry. Maybe we will do ADR and then maybe do the Hausa version for you guys. But guys, you guys should just enjoy it. Don't criticize too much. Well, like I said, the horse riding, the sword fighting and all of that, they were very, very challenging because they were so strenuous. And yeah, I lost a lot of weight during that time. So that's why you see me maybe looking very slim in the film and all of that. Though I don't even think I changed pretty much after 6 years. I'm still maybe just the way I am, just maybe now better makeup and stuff. Yeah, so apart from that, so while playing Amina, I embodied the character so much that I got into character so much that I at first when I got the role and I got the script, I read through it, and I saw that it's going to be a lot of work with the horse riding and the sword fighting and stuff. But I just put myself I began to think of the actual Amina herself, because growing up, I was told tales about Amina. We did it in history in primary school, secondary school. I grew up in Kaduna, so these are stories that you hear often. And Queen Amina is from Zaria, and Zaria is part of Kaduna. So these are stories that they told us a lot. So when I got the script, it's like, oh my God, I'm about to play this legendary character. I cannot mess up. So I just thought about if Amina can actually do this at an age like that, very stone age. That's like because the executive producer actually researched the story for about 19 years before we actually went to film. So both the research and the waiting time for the film to come out and the shoot and everything took about 25 years for Amina to come out, and all of that. So from the research, he said Amina's story happened around the 15th century, not even the 18th century. So this was even before Islam was born or anything like that, or Christianity or anything. So it was more like maybe idol worshippers or something, So I just imagine that at that time, a woman in a place where you have, where is the male-dominated time, where you now have, like as a woman, you cannot talk now. And then Amina is first of all, she's not just a queen, she's a warrior, very fearless warrior that conquered a lot of cities and people, and all of that for her people. Like I just told myself that if Amina can do it, then Lucy, you're an actor, you can do it. This role is big. You cannot say because of horse or sword fighting. You can't be lazy. This is you. This is what you've always wanted. You have to give it your 100%. So while we were filming, or before we started filming, they actually told me that they were going to give me a stunt person. But I'm like, I don't need a stunt person. I can do it. Why do I need a stunt person? Where's the fun of it? Like when I'm about to ride a horse, they will not bring somebody to come and do it. Or when I'm about to fight someone, no, I will do it. Even if it's hard, I will do it. My director said, it's okay, we can get, I'm like, no, it's fine. I'll do it. So Amina, I was so much in character that I felt like this is funny. Like when I say this to people, they look at me like, Lucy, should we run away? So like I felt like the actual Amina was always just right there holding my hands and always just right there with me. I could feel her spirit around me. This is weird, I know, but I could feel something out of the ordinary always right next to me. And so it was like, I am Lucy Ameh, but I had Amina living inside of me. So she gave me a lot of courage to do the things that I did, like a lot of things that I did. So on this fateful day, this is after 1 month of full training and 3 weeks of principal photography, we had started filming. And you know, the horse handlers would be like, they'll say it in Hausa, Sarauniya, it means queen. Sarauniya means queen. They'll say, Sarauniya Amina, kai kina da karfi fa, kina hawo doki nan kaman kin iya sosai, kaman ke professional ne. What they mean is like, the way I ride the horse is like, I've always known how to, like, I'm a professional. I ride it just like they do. Like, these are people that have been riding the horse for like years, and then they're applauding me all the time when I'm on the horse. It felt really good, you know. So I just felt that I was good. And so that fateful day, we went to set, and then the director wanted me to do a particular action. And so it's like I'm on the horse, and then the enemy is on his own horse, and then I'm supposed to just ride. When I get to the enemy, I use my sword to like cut his neck or something off and then he falls off his horse and all of that. So we tried that action we went like maybe 10 laps or something, and then the distance where we are galloping from, like with my own soldiers and his own soldiers, is like really far. So every time we get to the point where we're supposed to do the action, my horse will just go the other way, like what's going on? So every time we get to the enemy, the horse will go the other way. So apparently horses are like, if they feel like they want to be attacked, they try to run away or something. So we kept trying. And I think at that point, I just got really tired. Normally, I would say, director, let's leave it and maybe continue tomorrow or something. But I just really wanted to do it. For me, most times I didn't know what was controlling me. Every time I just wanted to, every time director says something, I'm like, and I know it's almost impossible, I'm like, let's just do it, it's fine. Director, are you sure? I'm like, yes sir, let's do it. You know, my director Izojuku was very, very supportive, you know. So, and then it now got to the point where I was supposed to do that action, and then I think at the 11th time that we came, I don't even know what happened. I cannot even remember. I don't even know. The next thing I just found out was my horse was putting her head down, and I was trying to bring her head back up, and then I don't even know what happened. The next thing I saw myself, like I fell headlong, or would I say the horse flung me off her. So it's like I just went off the horse and I fell like with my face hitting the ground. So it was crazy. According to people that were watching, they said I twisted my neck went like that, and they just thought, it's over. You know, just recently, I was at my director's office and we're having an interview, and then we're talking about the accident. And for the first time after so many years, director told me that, Lucy, I thought you actually died. I'm like, so why didn't you say that? He's like, he didn't want me to feel discouraged, and probably, he said while he was sitting down there, he's like, oh shit, because people have tried to shoot this film. So many people have tried. Like, if you research it, so many big names in the industry have tried to shoot this film, but nobody ever finishes it or something. So in his head, he said he was like, we've gotten to this point again where this film cannot end. But you know, thank God I didn't die. I was unconscious. We had medics on set, so they first did like the first thing that they could do, you know. Then they rushed me we're shooting somewhere outskirts of Jos, so when like in the community, they first took me to their clinic. I was in so much pain, you know, and then afterwards we went back to town, and then they took me to the main hospital in town, and actually they couldn't shoot anything for like 3 weeks. They had to wait for Amina to recover. So this part of my face was very swollen. I had like scars under my nose, here, everywhere, like very swollen. I'll show you guys pictures. Maybe you would see, you know, and understand what I went through. It was like the most painful thing I've felt in my life. But funny enough, 2 weeks after I was recovering already, the swellings had gone down. I just had the scars from, like, the wound was drying up, you know, and all of that. I went and I met my director and I said, sir, let's continue shoots. He's like, but you're still recovering, recover now, just finish recovering. I'm like, there's no time, because I was feeling bad, like the shoot was held up and money is going, you know how production is. Every day you're paying for something, you know, and then they couldn't do anything because I had to recover. So I think after 3 weeks, the makeup artist tried some foundation on my face, and then they could cover it, and then we continue filming. But there's this particular scene, I don't know if people can remember, for those of you that have seen Amina, there's this particular scene where Aladi was saying, where is Amina going? And Amina said she's made up her mind and she's going to the cave to go and see the priestess. If you look at it closely, you see that my face was swollen. Every time I see that scene, I'm like, that was after my accident. That was when we shot the scene, you know? Yeah, so it was very traumatizing after the accident to go back on the horse, but I don't know where that ginger just keeps coming from. I just felt, fine, let's just do it, you know? And yeah, of course, my mom, my family, everybody was just supportive, really. But thank God I didn't die. Yes, yeah, so that's like one of the major challenges I went through. That's like the second accident, actually. The first accident was like a car accident on our way back from sets. It was crazy. So many things happened in that set, but thank God nobody died. Thank God nobody died. Thank God Amina didn't die. It feels so good playing the role Amina, and for the fact that Amina is streaming everywhere in the world, it just feels really, really good. I'm so honored. Like, my face is actually everywhere in the world. Like, people can see me everywhere in the world. It feels so surreal. I am so thankful, guys. So this morning on my way here, my director called me and he said Amina is top 10 in 53 countries around the world. Like, can you even, 5 years later or 6 years later, I mean, after we shot the film, we are like, people just want to see what we did. We're so thankful, like, we're so happy. I particularly am so happy that the film is doing well, and not just in Africa or Nigeria, is doing well everywhere around the world. I keep getting messages from different parts of the world, from Holland, Germany, Spain, America, London, you know, different countries. There are some people that will just send me messages in their own language and I don't even understand it. Even when I try to reply and say, please, where are you from? What part of the world are you? They don't even understand what I'm saying, you know, so it's just so funny. But it's just a good thing that film is connecting us all over the world, and it feels really good. Yeah, okay, so I shot Amina 5-6 years ago, 2015. We started in 2015, around 2015 November was when we started training, and then we finished like the end of February 2016. So that's like a long time ago. 6 years later, Amina comes out, and we're where we at. We're the film is global and it's everywhere, right? And we're happy. Well, of course, it's been 6 long years. I've been doing other projects. I did a lot of projects. So I did She Drives Me Nuts with Blessing Egbe, which she put on YouTube, and it also gained me fans from different parts of the world. You know, the character is called Susan, and Susan is crazy and she's stressing her husband up. Uzo Arukwe, by the way, was my co-actor on that one. And then I did Ajoche. These are like the big ones I've done that I'm talking about. And then I did Ajoche with Africa Magic, and it was big also. It's like we shot for like a whole year, and it's another challenging role that I took, just like Susan. And then a couple of other really good jobs I've done within those 6 years that I was waiting for Amina to come, you know. So yeah, well, right now I'm still doing other projects. I'm currently on Venge on Africa Magic. I just finished a TV series with Victor Sanchez. I have scripts left, right, center, seriously, and I'm so thankful for it. Yeah, so I am working, but yeah, please, I want the bigger jobs in the industry that will also go on Netflix again, and also become global, and also international projects. Who knows? You never know, it might just come through. Okay, so I've told this story so many times. I'm sure people are tired of hearing it, but I think when I was about 5 or 6, you know, in the olden days where you have, it's not that old, like in the 90s, where you have the box TVs, you know, and we had one in my house. So every time I'm looking at the people in that box, like, how did they enter that box? How did they enter that box? So one day I asked my mom, these people in the box, how did they enter inside the box? And then she laughed and she's like, don't worry, when you grow up, you understand. And I told her that when I grow up, so this is my mom telling me, when I grow up, I want to be like the people in the box. And my mom looked at me and she has always noticed me amongst my siblings. I'm like the one who is very, very chatty, very, you know, all over the place, you know, and all of that. So in her mind, she's like, this one is like, we're going to dash her to the media, you know. And then fast forward 2 years later, when I was in secondary school, then Nigerian films started coming out, all those True Love, When Love Happens, you know, all those nice stories back then with, and it was always Genevieve and Ramsey Noah playing those roles. And then a few of them you see Omotala and then Stella and then the other actresses. So I was always watching Genevieve and Ramsey. So I was in a boarding school, Federal Government College, Kaduna. So all my pocket money, I don't spend it all, like I keep saving it. I save it and save it. When we come back for holidays, I go to video clubs and I borrow films with my pocket money. I think then it was like maybe 10 naira or something, or 20 naira, I can't remember. And then I'll borrow different films and then I'll take it home and I would watch. Now I am watching the film and I'm putting myself in Genevieve's shoes or Motola's shoes or Stella Damaso's or whoever the actress is at that moment. And then when we go back to school, the moment we hear, after night prep and then the house mistress will come and check on us, you know, and all of that. The moment we hear her car zoom off, she must have turned off the light, so because it's light out. Once she zooms off, we'll turn the lights back on and then everybody gathers in my corner and then I start to gist them the story of the films I watched during the holiday. Now, funny story, I gist them, like I practically say, if Ramsey Noah said, oh, I love you, blah, 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 to maybe Genevieve or Motola, whoever the actress is, I will say his lines exactly the way he said it. If Genevieve, whatever line Genevieve said, I will say it exactly the way she said it. I will say scene by scene until I finish giving them the gist of the film. And then if it's a film where maybe she went to the stream to fetch water or something and she was using a pot, I will use a bucket, put it on my head and depict it, you know, and all of that. So it was just fun for me. I was so happy doing all of that. For me, I just felt this is what I wanted to do. So watching Nigerian films at that time really, really inspired me because I just knew that I just want to be an actress. That's what I want to do. Now, back in school also, before we graduated, there is this book called Slum Book that's for graduating students. They pass it around. They ask you different questions just so you keep memories of people when you've graduated. I'm sure you guys had all those slum books back then. So all of the slum books I filled while I was in school, if they say, what do you want to be in future? Right next to it is like actress, you know, like actress. So some of my classmates, sometimes like if they see my movies or if I post something or maybe people post something about me, I see some comments saying, Lucy, you really followed this your dream. I remember back in school in the hostel, you know, they begin to reminisce about all the memorable things that we did back then in school. Yeah, so I've always been inspired, of course, from seeing people in the box, which is the TV, and then from seeing Nigerians actually being in the box. And I'm like, wow, okay, so people that look like me can be in the box, then I can totally be in the box too. Yeah, so yes, well, I would say so. It has been worth it. Like it has. I'm not gonna lie, because I am not where I used to be, you know, and that's career-wise and even life generally. Of course, I'm grown, you know, and I'm older and all of that, but career-wise, I'm not where I used to be. I would say I'm doing well, and I'm so thankful to God and thankful to all those in my industry who have given me opportunities. I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much. If you ever picked up your phone to say, oh, Lucy, come and be on my project, I really appreciate you guys have built me to this extent, and I am so thankful. Yes, I am really satisfied with where I am, and I guess I have only just scratched the surface, guys. This is just the beginning. It's like this is very far apart. When I joined, so I joined like after secondary school. my mom was driving back home from work, and then somebody gave her a flyer for an acting school, and she came back home and she's like, oh, I would like you to go to this acting school. And I'm like, oh, great, because I was already telling her, what do I do about this acting? What do I do? You know, and she's like, don't worry, we'll figure it out. My mom, by the way, is very, very supportive. She's so supportive, like she's the best. So she registered me in this acting school. That was back in that's a long time ago. I can't even remember specifically what year, but she registered me in that acting school, and then I went to the acting school for 3 months. After the acting school, I then joined AGN Kaduna, and then we're doing like productions that will probably just show on NTA Kaduna, or, you know, and then after that, I went to the university in Jos, and then I joined the AGN in Jos, you know, and then I would still go and get projects, and I would do and all of that. Then when I was in school, I started getting called to, people started calling me to Abuja to come work. So I was earning money from it while I was in school, and I was using it to pay stuff in school and all of that, which was great, by the way. So I had a lot of people calling me from Abuja to come work, but all of this time, I still didn't think I was doing it professionally because I was in school. At the same time, I was being an actress. But when I finished my service, and I would say, you know, funny enough, yes, now 2012 till now is like 11 years. So yeah, so I started professionally 2012. Now, the film I shot, there's this particular film I shot in 2012. Let me use that as an example. Learning Curves with Chris Ode in Abuja, Mr. Chris Ode in Abuja. I mean, you can't compare it to the film I'm shooting right now. Now, the industry has evolved so much. There are so many platforms where you can sell your films to, you know, we have the cinemas, we have Netflix, we have different online TVs, we have Evoco TV, we have Nevada Bridge, we have Afro-Revo, we have so many TVs platforms where you can just sell your film to. So yeah, back then, I guess it was probably just maybe dubbing your film on CDs, and then people watch it, slotting in the DVD machines, and then they watch. But now you can just be anywhere, be on your phone, and you're watching a movie, right? So yeah, the industry has really, really evolved. The difference is too much. You can't even compare. Like, since I started with now, you can't compare, no. And then we have festivals, we have awards, we have no. It has really evolved so much, so much. So I like very challenging roles, actually. But most times these days, I know that I get, you know, just girlfriend, wife. Yeah, it's challenging. Every role is challenging, but the kind of roles I'm talking about are roles where you're probably telling a historical story about somebody who is a legend, just like Amina. Maybe not as fierce as Amina, but yeah, a character that just stands out. Maybe one day they want to do a film, maybe about Fela Kuti's mom. You know, those kind of women that really made things happen in Nigeria. Yeah, those kind of roles. Because pretty much, I think I've played so many kind of roles. I've played wife, girlfriend, doctor, somebody with mental health issues, you know, and then I've played queen twice. So I was Queen Oganya in Ajoche, very troublesome queen, by the way. And then I am now Queen Amina, you know, so I've played a lot of queenly roles. I think I also want more, you know, maybe some Queen Sheba kind of roles, some Queen Nefertiti things. Yeah, Shantewa from Ghana, all those women, all those legends, you know, from Africa. Yeah, so I just really like things that would stretch me, you know, things that would stretch me, you know. I'm laughing because I remember 5 years ago, so I served in 2016, right? Yes, so 2016, that should be about maybe 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, I was talking with some crew member, actually, one of the ADs from Bariga Sugar, and we're just having a conversation, and he's like, where do you see yourself like in 5 years? And I'm like, I don't know, but I just want to, in the next 5 years, I know I'm taking over the industry. Like, I'm taking over Nollywood. Like, yes, right now I'm just this very quiet, small girl from the north. But in another 5 years, I should people should begin to notice me, that I am doing well and my career is on another level. And 5 years later, I'm here, right? So every time I say that, I talk about Nigeria first, Nigerian movie industry first, and then I go, yeah, maybe. And so in another 5 years or 3 years, I want to see myself, at least I've done like some really nice international projects. It could be anywhere around the world, Hollywood or all these other African countries where they have big movie industries, South Africa, you know, Kenya, different countries where you see their films are really good and it's on Netflix. I just want to do like lots of international projects. And if Hollywood opens their door to me, I'm gonna run right in. And maybe Bollywood. I'm not India, or I cannot speak India, but you never know. One role will just come through for a Nigerian and then I'm there. Yeah, so in 3, 4, 5 years, I see myself like I would be like one of the #1 box office film actresses, like one of the #1 box office faces in Nigeria, our big screen and all of that, and internationally also. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys. You guys have been there. Like I've seen people that have been following me for like 6, 7 years, even when I've not really done any tangible stuff, and I just keep promoting the small things I've done on social media, Facebook, before Instagram became you know, and all of that. You guys are just really amazing. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you so much for being there and always just watching everything that I'm part of, you know, and all of that. I really appreciate you guys. God bless you. Thank you. My Instagram is Lucy Ameh. Facebook is Ameh Lucy. Twitter, which I don't know, it feels like every Nigerian is on Twitter right now, even though it's banned, apart from me, because I don't know how to get back on it. I don't understand, but I've heard that. I tried. I don't know how to work it. So I just said, you know what? I beg. Let me just wait until the government unban it or something, leave the ban or something. But yeah, Twitter is also Lucy Ameh. So I'll wait until when they lift the ban, because even the VPN, I don't know how to do it.